This conference will now be.
Okay, guys, let's get started. A very warm welcome to this Microsoft Intune training session. In this session, I'm going to give you some overview about this product. So, before I start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Kashif. I am from India, Mumbai. I have somewhere around uh, 13 years of practical IT experience. I have worked on various technologies. Um, I started my career as a IT service desk engineer. Then I was moved into SCCM level 1, level 2, level 3 team. Now I'm working as SCCM Intune architect, wherein my primary roles and responsibilities to implement these technologies in companies. And apart from these implementation, I'm taking trainings wherein I do online training, offline training, classroom training, corporate training. I have trained more than 30,000 students globally. So that's about me, guys. I am going to give you the details about this product. Okay, 1 minute. So, Microsoft Intune, it's as you know, it's a Microsoft product. When this product came into the picture, this product was developed and released into the market in 2010.
2014.
2014 was the when they changed the name actually. Previously, we used to call it as Windows Intune. When Microsoft released this product, it was called as Windows Intune. Okay,
Okay.
but later in 2014, Microsoft changed this product to Microsoft Intune. Okay, now in 2019, they again changed this name to Endpoint Manager. Okay, Endpoint Manager. Okay, so either you call it as Intune or Endpoint Manager, one and the same thing. It's the same product. Okay, now this is a Microsoft product. Now this is basically going to manage devices. Suppose you have thousands and thousands of devices, right? Let's say you have 50,000 devices in your company and you would like to manage these devices. So previously, not previously, we are still managing devices through SCCM. So basically, we have SCCM to manage these devices, right? So SCCM is able to manage desktops, okay, plus laptops, okay, plus servers, okay. SCCM can manage these devices, but SCCM in order to manage these devices through SCCM, we were getting a lot of difficulties because there are some dependencies. You know, you need to have some network connectivity. You need to have the agent in healthy state in the device. Agent has to be communicating to the SCCM server all the time. So there are some dependencies and challenges. We were facing a lot of issues, and during this COVID, people started working from home, so most of the devices were on internet, and the company uh, most of the companies are not managing devices on internet. So what happened, Intune came into the picture, and Intune is basically managing devices on the internet. And if you compare with SCCM, the success rate is higher in order to manage the devices on the internet. So people started moving towards Intune. So the functionality wise, it's one and the same thing. Okay, Intune and SCCM both will give you similar kind of functionality, but the major difference between SCCM and Intune is going to manage devices, uh, eh, the devices which are on internet. Okay, if the devices are on intranet, let's say the devices are on intranet and they don't have internet connection, devices, Intune will not be able to manage those devices. In order to manage the devices, Intune needs internet connection on the devices. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is, Intune cannot manage servers. Okay, server, who will manage the server? So SCCM is still managing server. So Microsoft is selling both the products. Microsoft is very smart. They would like to purchase Intune license for devices which are on internet, right? Like laptops. That is what? That is a mobile device. You know, people take it home. Then you can also manage iOS devices. Then you can manage Android devices, right? You can manage Linux devices. You can also manage Mac operating system, uh, Chrome OS, right? These are the operating systems which Intune supports at the moment. Intune does not support servers. Okay, SCCM does not support mobile devices now. Previously, it used to be we used to do that using we used to integrate Intune and SCCM, but that option is uh, no more available. So SCCM is now focusing more on desktops, right? Plus servers. So SCCM is not going anywhere. SCCM will be there in the company, but it will be focusing mostly on these two kinds of devices. Now, there are some uh, competitors of Intune. Okay, so like Intune, we have other products which are giving same kind of functionalities, like AirWatch. AirWatch is a VMware product. The new name of AirWatch is Workspace ONE, right? Second, we have Zen Mobile. Zen Mobile is from Citrix. Then we have Mobile Iron. Then we have Goods. Then Tanium. Somebody said Cisco uh, Meraki, right? Cisco Meraki. So these are also some of the competitors of Intune, which are giving same kind of functionality. Intune is what? Intune basically gonna give you two functionalities, that is MDM and MAM, mobile device management and mobile application management. So you can manage device, suppose through mobile device management, you can manage the whole device will be managed. And in mobile application, you will manage application only, not the device. You will manage application only. So MDM basically we do it for corporate owned devices, and MAM we do it generally for bring your own devices, like personal devices. Okay. Now, why do we have to manage devices? Suppose you have thousands and thousands of devices. Okay, 50,000 devices. In 50,000 devices, let's say the bifurcation is 40,000 devices are laptops. You know, the Windows laptops, Windows 10 and Windows 11. 5,000 devices, MacBook. Okay, and then 2,000 devices, um, iOS, Apple iOS phone. Then 2,000 devices, Android, right? And 1,000 devices is Linux computer, for example. This is the bifurcation of 50,000 devices, for example. So Intune is going to manage these devices, Okay, all these devices Intune will be managing. Now, why do we have to manage devices? Okay, what is the reason behind it? Can anyone tell me?
because every devices will use the company resources,
Hmm.
and
So,
company don't want to company don't want to lose their data through these resources.
right.
And to
So,
to
hmm,
better control the devices, we can control that device easily.
Yeah,
right,
Yeah,
or in this way, we can implement policies, security policies, compliance policies, and other policies.
right. Hmm. Right answer. So, Intune is basically going to manage devices because uh, through Intune, we will be deploying, let's say, we would like to deploy some application on these 40,000 laptops. Let's say I need to deploy Office 365, and people are not there in the office; they are at home, right? So what we have to do, we just have to ask them to turn on the device, right? And it has to be on internet connection, and Intune is going to supply the policy plus the content. The device will download the content plus policy, and 40,000 device will receive the policy. The application will start installing in the devices. Okay, that is for application. We can also deploy policy. So since the devices will be using the company resources, company data, all these devices, why we have to manage? Because if the device is using company data, device, um, let's say people are using Outlook on their mobile devices, company email or company application or company portal, websites, intranet websites or something. So it is vulnerable because the device is not inside the premises, it's outside the premises, so it's vulnerable. So we don't know what is happening on the devices. User might copy and paste the data from email and put it in WhatsApp and send it to someone, or user can share the data on Bluetooth um, or Wi-Fi tethering, or there could be a data breach or a security breach. So what we do, we will deploy a policy to the device that user should not be able to do all those things. Copy and paste will be blocked. um, a user will not be able to access the device without multi-factor authentication, right? If the device is lost, we can remotely wipe the device, factory reset. We can, let's say somebody uh, lost the device, right? So we can wipe the device, factory reset the device. We don't have to um, do anything. We just create a policy from Intune and deploy it to the devices, and over the internet the policy will be supplied to the device, and the device will get wiped off, so that the company data will be secured. The data will not get compromised. Okay, so that's the main reason to manage devices. You will have complete control of the devices. You can deploy applications, you can deploy policies, you can wipe the device, you can reset password. Suppose somebody is trying to access the device but he forgot his password. So you can reset the password from the Intune portal, and the policy will reach to the device. A user will have to just wait for a few minutes and then try with the new password. User will be able to do that, access the device. Okay. Plus, um, if you would like to deploy update policy, okay, uh, like how the device will get patched in SCCM world, those devices which are um, on the premises, let's say these some 10,000 laptops are there, so they are inside the premises. We are able to deploy patches on these devices, okay, and the devices are getting patched. But as soon as the devices are outside on the different network or outside the premises, then the patch deployment was very difficult. we used to call the user, ask them to connect to the VPN, and then as soon as the computer is connected to the VPN, the patches uh, s- policy will start getting downloaded, and most of the time, we used to get challenges, issues. So in order to overcome all these issues, we in SCCM also, Microsoft developed one component called co-management gateway. Okay, I mean cloud management gateway. So through cloud management gateway, the devices which are on internet, they can receive the policies and contents from the cloud management point and distribution point, and the devices will get the application and update policy and everything. But it also had some dependencies, right? Because application uh, the device needs to have the client in healthy state, then the device needs to have good internet connectivity. There the in if you compare with this one and Intune, right? the then the success rate is better in Intune rather than cloud management gateway. That's the reason most of the companies are moving towards Intune for their client management, not the server management, because server will still be managing by SCCM, because all the servers are inside, either located in your premises or on the data center, and you have good connectivity, and the servers are online, and SCCM will be able to deploy the policies and updates and everything to the servers without any issues. So since we had so many issues with SCCM in order to manage client devices, that's the reason Microsoft has developed Intune, and it can manage devices on the internet.
Uh,
Okay, so you
Hello, Kashif.
understood the yes,
Hello, Kashif. Yeah, in the SCCM, there is
yes, go
some
ahead.
client and server. So in Intune, is there anything related to client? Means how the machine connects to.
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm coming to that. So in Intune, how will you manage devices? So Intune is basically gonna do two things, right? As we discussed earlier, MDM and MAM.
Sorry to cut
Okay.
you, Kashif. I have one question. So while we are saying SSCM still managing the servers, I mean, is this something that is not been allowed to manage servers through Intune, or but is that something technically possible, right? If you allow the ports from servers, even that also can be managed, right? I mean, is there any technical limitation while
Intune
we are
is
saying like that?
technical limitation. Microsoft has not developed that feature in Intune. From Intune, you cannot manage servers. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Understood? Server
Okay.
management, Microsoft has not developed from Intune. So you cannot manage servers at the moment. And in
because
I
future
mean,
as
if we,
well, they
I mean,
don't
because I
want.
think
okay.
because I think Intune is a SaaS, software as a service, not as IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So that's why we cannot
Mhm.
maintain the servers through Intune. Because Intune like a
Mhm.
Microsoft 365 is a SaaS, as a software as a service.
Okay. No, no, but what is that? Is the what is the element
Um,
that is blocking from server to go on Intune?
no, 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 no.
Because
Suppose
Because we don't have
because
the
AC,
infrastructure.
I'll tell you.
If
Wait,
I
wait a
no
allow
no
minute.
the
No, 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 no.
all the
Wait a minute. No, no, no. Wait a minute. Microsoft has put a lot of effort to develop SCCM.
Mhm,
Okay, the SCCM came into the picture in 1994, right?
mhm.
Right now it's 2023, so almost like 29 years this product is there in the market. So Microsoft is working on SCCM for the past 29 years. They don't want this product to go away just like that. Okay,
Mm,
so what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is asking, okay, you would like to manage server, take Intune, take SCCM license. Okay, if you would like to manage mobile devices, right, take Intune license. Got it? They would like to sell both the products. That's
mhm.
uh, their you know marketing
Strategy.
plan actually. They don't want, yeah, strategy. They don't want to manage server through Intune. So that's the reason they have not given that functionality in Intune. They can do it just like that. They can simply do it, right? Because desktops are being managed. They can easily do it, but they don't want to do that. That's the reason that functionality is not available. So as soon as if you try to uh, you know uh, if you just like in Windows client machine like Windows 10 and Windows 11, when you go to setting here, right?
Mm,
So in this setting option, what do we have? We have accounts, right? And in
mm,
accounts we have option to add the account, just like I have added Kashif my account, right? So similarly, you know, that option can be given in server as well, but they have not given that option. Okay, why?
okay,
Because they
okay.
would like to sell both the products. That is their
Mm,
marketing strategy. It's not like they don't. What is the reason why it is being blocked, or what is the challenge? There is no challenge at all. Simply they want to sell both the products. Okay, got it?
right, right. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kashif, we are using SCCM just for patch management, but if, as you told, 5,000 computers, all of them are going to internet, they will utilize the 100% bandwidth, then how Intune is efficient and good as compared to SCCM?
Intune is better. Why? Because when you create your Intune subscription, suppose if you create just like, let me show it to you. When you create your Intune subscription, then you get your tenant location. Okay, so here we have tenant administration, and we have tenant location India 01. Okay, and your devices are not necessarily that it's in India. The devices are, some devices are in India, some devices are in China, some devices are in yeah, America. So devices are spread all over the globe. Let's say it's a big company which has like 20,000 users or 50,000 users. So all the all the users are using internet, right, to connect to Intune. So in SCCM world, right, we used to have that challenge because suppose if you have primary site, right, SCCM primary site, and that's located in New York, for example, and New York has 5,000 devices. So SCCM is able to manage all these 5,000 devices because they are on the same network. But let's say 2,000 devices are in Mumbai, right? And then 2,000 devices are in London. So SCCM, if you connect these devices from SCCM primary side, what will happen? The network will be choked up. There's the whole bandwidth utilization will happen, right? And then you will not be able to manage devices. So in order to fix this problem, what Microsoft did, Microsoft developed secondary site functionality. So you can manage devices through secondary site. So primary site will be supplying the policies and contents to the secondary, and secondary will be deploying the policies and contents to the devices in that location. But Intune does not have that, I mean, that limitation. Okay, so Intune is built on uh, Azure Service Cluster. Okay, Azure Service Fabric Cluster basically in the backend, and it has many regions. Last time when I checked, I think it some of them are present in EU region, Some of them are present are in APAC region, and some of them are present in Americas region. Okay, there are total 29 Azure service uh, fabric cluster. Okay, so in that fabric cluster we have n number of servers. We also don't know how many servers are there, but hundreds of servers are there. Okay, so you hundreds or more than that, thousands of servers are there in that one, and the tenants are being managed through those servers separately, and that is all done by Microsoft. Microsoft also does not give us the exact information about the server details and all. They have just created everything in the backend, and the web console what we have right now, as you see, this is the web console. This web console connects to Intune through Microsoft Graph. So there is a Microsoft Graph in the backend which connects with your suppose if you make any changes here in this portal, in the backend your changes is captured and taken into the readable format, and then it goes to the Microsoft Graph, which connects to the Intune portal. Let me what is Intune? I'll show you the diagram. 1 minute. This diagram I have already shown that to you. So basically, uh, Microsoft Intune has integration with many products, which we will talk about later. SCCM, Windows Autopilot, Defender, then managed Google Play, Apple Token, TeamViewer, Endpoint Security, Zero Trust, VPN, and Microsoft Tunnel, remote and hybrid worker. We can deploy application identities, devices. 1 minute. Graph Intune architecture. This is the one I was looking for. Let me go to this. So Intune high level architecture is like this. Okay. So you see, this is your web console. Okay, this one, web console, where we are working. Okay, this one, this is your web console. So when you are making any changes, right, all the configuration and reporting, it is gonna be get connected through this Graph API. In the backend, we have Microsoft Graph, and which is connecting to Intune through this Graph API. And then this is the backend architecture of Intune. So we have some integration of like endpoint security, configuration policy, application protection policy, then device compliance policy, app configuration policies and apps. We have integration with Azure Active Directory, conditional access, SCCM integration with co-management, right? So these are basically the backend high level architecture. And Intune is as a Intune is what? It's a uh, SaaS kind of thing, software as a service. Software as a service. It's not as infrastructure as a service like Azure platform. What is that? It's an infrastructure as a service. You can build your servers, you can create your machines, you can, so infrastructure is given to you, and then you can create whatever the resources you would like to create. But Intune is basically, it is all developed by Microsoft and done in the backend. You don't have to build any servers. You don't have to uh, take care of um, any database or any updates or anything. It will be all done by Microsoft itself. So every month they are releasing the new version of Intune. They are making some changes and updating it, and that's all done by Microsoft without any uh, interruption. Okay.
So which database they are using backend?
they are not using SQL database. For Intune, they are using a different database. Okay. Unlike SCCM, and SCCM has a SQL server. For primary side, we install SQL server and then we use that one. But this one, they are using some other database to store the data of their tenants. Got it?
Okay. So there is specific to that
Very limited.
technology.
Yeah, actually, very limited information Microsoft is giving uh,
Okay.
about what all things they are using in the backend. Okay, so in the backend, uh, these all are done by Microsoft. We have to just take subscription, and after taking the subscription, we can start managing the devices. Now, in order to manage devices, how you will start managing devices? You will have to, in SCCM, we have to install SCCM client, but in Intune, we have to enroll the device. Okay, suppose you have like 50,000 devices, you need to do what? You need to do enrollment. Okay, as soon as you enroll the device, so you type in your email address and password here, and that email address and password which you are using, that email has to have the Intune license. If you have Intune license, right, then only you will be able to enroll the device. What happens as soon as you type in the username and password, then your details goes to Azure Active Directory for authentication. So your details goes to Azure Active Directory, and Azure Active Directory is going to verify your details whether it is successfully, if you have typed in the username and password correctly or not. If it is success, right, then it will register the device in Azure Active Directory. So when we do the practical, right, then we will see how the devices are uh, getting registered to Azure Active Directory, and then how the devices are getting enrolled to Intune. So this is Azure Active Directory. Okay. So this is Azure Active Directory, which is giving the information about all the devices. So I have these devices, right? Some of the devices are Azure joint device, right? Some of the devices are hybrid Azure AD joint device. Some of devices are Azure AD registered device. There are three types of devices I have: Azure AD joint, hybrid Azure AD joint, and Azure AD register. So I will discuss about these things later on. For now, just understand this. So the device will get registered in Azure Active Directory, or based on the registration. So it will first check your username and password. Once it is verified, then we have Intune. If it is auto enrollment enabled, right? If it is auto enrollment enabled, then what will happen? It will get enrolled. The device is going to be enrolled to Intune, and then as soon as the device is getting enrolled to Intune, then Intune will start supplying policies, right, to the devices, plus contents, right, plus configurations, right. So whatever the policies and contents you would like to deploy, you can deploy from Intune, and the device will get managed through Intune. Okay, that's the enrollment process. So we will see this practically when we go in the training, how the devices are getting enrolled. Okay, so I will stop right here. I have given you some overview about Intune. So if you would like to get more details about Intune, what you have to do, you need to type in what is Intune in Google, right? And then the first link comes, what is Intune? That will give you the overview about Intune. If you would like to read about Intune, you can go to this website and You can go through this. It will hardly take 10 minutes for you to go through this website. Okay, then high level diagram, that will also give you some information how Intune is designed in the backend. Okay, and in this one, what is Intune? You have other links as well. For example, if you would like to know about Intune license, okay, that will. So Intune is not free. You have to have license for it. So we will use the free trial license, which will be available to us for 30 days. 25 license we will get, and if you would like to purchase the license, let's say company is looking to purchase license, so they can take either Microsoft Intune Plan 1 or any of these licenses which is included in, Intune Plan 1, this one is included in below license. So if they are already using this Microsoft 365 E3 or F1 or mobile enterprise mobility plus security, so Intune license is already integrated in that one, or they can take this Microsoft Intune Plan 2 or this one or this one, right? So these are the options available for licensing, which we will talk about later on. But for you, you have to go through these articles that will give you more understanding how Intune is um, designed in the back end and what is the components of Intune. So I will stop right here, and if you have any question, you can ask question, guys.
Is there
Anyone
any
has any
limitation for
question?
the, yeah, is there any limitation for client to be registered or means enrollment?
No limitation as such, but in case if you have taken license, let's say 250 license or 25,000 license you have taken, and your number of devices is going beyond 25,000, so you will have to take more license. So limitation based on the license.
Right.
If you
Okay.
don't have license, then you will not be able to enroll more devices.
And I have a
Any other
question.
question?
Yeah, I have a question regarding
Hmm.
as you are saying that Intune is used Microsoft Azure Active Directory. So Azure Active Directory is not the part of Intune, is the part of Microsoft 365. Is it correct?
Yes, Azure is a separate entity, right?
Okay.
Azure has Azure Active Directory. Azure, you're talking about Azure Active Directory, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
As you said
Azure Active
that,
Directory is a separate entity.
yeah, yeah. As you
It's a separate entity,
yeah,
but
you are
it is
saying that.
integrated in Intune.
Okay, and it means Intune use we cannot use Intune standalone. We must have Microsoft 365 license.
No, you can use this license, Intune, this one, Microsoft Intune Plan 1, or you can take Intune Plan 2 or Intune Suite or Intune Education. There are many licenses which are
Okay,
available. It's not necessarily that you have to have Microsoft 365 license. You can go with enterprise mobility and security. But when you create your Intune subscription, what happens? You get access to Azure Active Directory because it is integrated.
okay,
Got it?
okay. Understood.
Also, Microsoft 365 is also integrated in Intune. So as soon as you create your subscription, then the whatever integrated in Intune, you will get access to those things.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question? Anyone has any question?
Kashif,
Hmm?
do we have sessions tomorrow as well?
Yes.
Okay, at the same time, right?
We same same time 7 a.m. We are going to start. So today was the day one. Tomorrow we will have the session at the same time. So those who have not enrolled at the moment. You need to do the enrollment. If you would like to continue from tomorrow, you can contact me 9892354331. Sorry. Okay, so for enrollment, you can let me know. I will let you know the process of payment, and then you can continue with the training from tomorrow onwards.
Yeah, we will be receiving the links also, right? To join the
For what?
session. To join the
Yes,
session.
if you enroll for the
Yeah.
session, you will receive the link.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question from anyone?
So, like in SSCM, we have bits to manage the downloads. So, similarly, like in Intune, uh, is the same thing will continue or some?
Bits is the internal feature of Windows operating system. Every computer has bits, but bits comes into the picture mostly when the devices are on the same network, on the LAN network, so that if the download started, right, and if it fails somewhere, then it will start from the same point where it was failed earlier, or basically it is to control the network bandwidth. Got it? But here everything is happening on the internet. Got it? So you don't have to worry about bits and network choking, because it's all depends on the device internet connectivity. For example, I have taken a plan of uh, 1 Gbps or 100 Mbps, right? So it will consume from that one. If somebody has 10 Mbps line, it will consume from 10 Mbps. Got it?
Okay, so do you mean the same feature will be used by Intune as well
For what?
to download or I mean to bandwidth as well in terms of bandwidth also it will use that same feature as well.
Bits, basically the bits which you are talking about in SCCM world, that is basically to control the network bandwidth. Okay, you can limit the bandwidth that the devices should utilize only up to 50% of the total bandwidth, or 20% of the total bandwidth. Through SCCM policy you can do that. Okay, but
Hmm.
here all the devices are on the internet.
Yeah,
Okay,
but internet
so that
devices
is
also working from, sorry to
mm,
cut you, are also
mm.
working from office. So there are there will be a challenges to to if the traffic is moving internet, right? So that could be create some problem. So how that will help us in Tune, like is the same will
S-
continue?
Same, the you don't have that the same kind of feature which is there in SCCM, so it's not same to same. But in Intune, in the backend, it is designed in such a way that it will utilize the network uh, properly. It will not consume the whole network bandwidth of the computer. And every 8 hours, the policy is designed in such a way that the machine will communicate to the server every 8 hours. Okay.
Mhm.
So all the devices will not be talking to the server at the same time, right? They will have, every device will have a different time of a different set of frequency. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's say that one device is communicated today at 8 a.m., so the same device will communicate at 4 p.m. Okay,
Mhm.
so this time, 8 hours time, the frequency is not, it's not like in SCCM world we used to have like 1 hour policy or 30-minute policy wherein every devices are communicating within 30 minutes. It's 8 hours, so there will not be an issue. Got it?
Okay. But still we can manage that bits component from Intune. Is that
I don't
correct
think so.
statement?
No.
Okay. 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 Fine.
Any other question before we wrap it up? Okay. So those who have not enrolled to the session, you need to uh, contact on this number for enrollment, and then I will guide you for the enrollment process, and then you can continue from tomorrow. Thank you for joining the session. I hope the session was informative. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Kashif.
Thank you, Kashif. Bye bye.